Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are staying safe. Hope everything's good wherever you guys are. So guys, Canelo Alvarez. So we made a video yesterday about him confirming the Bivol fight. There's also been some news about Oscar De La Hoya slamming Canelo Alvarez's opponent, saying that Canelo Alvarez needs to step up his game. Canelo Alvarez is cherry picking. And Eddie Hearn came out and actually slammed Oscar De La Hoya and said that he's one jealous, very bitter man, and he's got to get over the fact that Canelo's no longer with him, and he's moved on, and Canelo will never be with him. Eddie Hearn firing shots, letting Oscar letting Oscar De La Hoya know his place. That look, you need to get over the fact that, Canelo will never be with you ever again. That's a relationship which is ended. You have to get over it. You have to get over the fact that, Canelo was the biggest star and you used to promote him. Now he's not with you anymore. And it's hard for Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya is now firing shots at Canelo Alvarez. But let's not forget when Oscar De La Hoya was with Canelo Alvarez, everyone wanted to see Canelo Alvarez fight the Gennady Golovkin fight. Now, yes, Oscar De La Hoya did eventually make the Gennady Golovkin fight, but let's not forget it was a fight that was made, and Canelo got made out to be the guy that was avoiding Golovkin, and Oscar De La Hoya was the promoter. So for Oscar De La Hoya to now fire shots at Eddie Hearn, who I believe has actually put Canelo in tough fights. I mean, bar some of the like Yildirim and the Yildirim fight, and was Canelo when he fought Rocky Fielding? I think he was under Oscar, wasn't he? But yeah, I mean, if we look at the fights that Eddie's got him the Callum Smith fight, the Avni Yildirim fight, the Billy Joe fight, the Caleb Plant fight. I know Caleb Plant, he went and got that fight himself. Then he got him the Dmitry Bivol fight. Then he got him the Gennady Golovkin fight. Now he's going to fight John Ryder. Then he's going to probably fight Dmitry Bivol again. I don't see how Eddie Hearn has done a bad job for Canelo Alvarez. I don't see how Eddie Hearn, when you look at those names that I've mentioned, I don't see how they're poor names. I don't see how Eddie Hearn hasn't given Canelo Alvarez. I mean, Canelo Alvarez, for me, is actually fighting tougher opponents than what he was under Oscar De La Hoya. If we look at Oscar De La Hoya's run, Canelo fought names like Cotto, Khan. He fought guys, names under when he was with De La Hoya. But really, the fights are similar stature. Just the guys that Oscar De La Hoya was getting him in the ring with were probably bigger names. Like Kovalev, Khan, Cotto. Guys like that were huge names in the sport, and they were big marketing fights, which guys like Billy Joe, Callum Smith are not, but they're probably as tough fights. I mean, Bivol beat Canelo, and he was nowhere near as big as some of the names that I just mentioned from a commercial standpoint. I mean, when you look at it from a commercial standpoint, I mean, the Cotto fight, the Golovkin fight, even the Khan fight, they were big fights. Because what you got to remember, those were fights where those other guys were bringing something to the table. Cotto's a legend. I mean, Khan had a massive name. Golovkin, I mean, that was a fight that everybody wanted to see. Kovalev was a massive name. This is what I'm trying to say. So when the advantage that De La Hoya had, that a lot of those fights that De La Hoya did, the other guys that Canelo was fighting also were big stars in their own right. So it made it easy to sell the fights. These fighters don't have the name Billy Joe, Callum Smith, Callum Smith, Caleb Plant. These aren't well-known fighters. These are not big names. These are not household names. These are not guys that people know about. So they're a harder sell, but not necessarily easier fights. Because Canelo was fighting these guys at higher weight classes where these guys are naturally bigger. So, for example, guys like Cotto and Khan, they were probably easier fights because they were smaller guys, right? But they were huge stars. They were huge names, right? So Canelo was able to, benefit from that, where he made a lot of money against Cotto. He made a lot of money against Khan, but Cotto was kind of not in his prime, and Khan was a lot smaller than Canelo. So Eddie Hearn, for me, has done a good job for Canelo. I don't think he's done a bad job. I don't think you can really slate Eddie Hearn's matchmaking with what he's done with Canelo. I just think it's Oscar De La Hoya trying to take digs at Canelo. But I think he's got to understand that Canelo Alvarez has moved on. He's moved on from Oscar. And like Eddie's right, he's probably never going to work with Oscar again. And I think Oscar's just got to maybe come to terms that is the case. I think Oscar's had a hard time trying to, maybe digest that. Because probably he can't accept that a guy that made him so much money is no longer going to be, a fighter that he promotes. So I think it's hard for Oscar De La Hoya. So De La Hoya is taking shots. But De La Hoya should focus on Gervonta Davis v. Ryan Garcia. De La Hoya's got a massive fight on his hands. He should be looking to promote that and forget about Canelo. And he was talking about Canelo fighting Munguia. I mean, for me, Munguia would be a step down. Munguia would be a step down for Canelo at this point. Munguia might be a decent sized fight, but it's a step down. It's not a competitive fight. Munguia is not on Canelo's level. That's a step down as far as I'm concerned. I think Canelo's relationship had to end with Oscar De La Hoya because I think De La Hoya didn't really have any fighters, and I think De La Hoya had too much control. Canelo didn't have as much control. I think with Hearn, although Hearn is a guy that's promoting Canelo right now, he's putting on the shows, I don't really think Hearn has much say. I think Hearn just does what Canelo says, and that's why Canelo likes it. Whereas Oscar De La Hoya was more managing and actually doing everything for Canelo, and Canelo probably didn't have as much control in his career that he has with Eddie Hearn. Hence why he probably likes the relationship with Eddie Hearn, because Canelo has more control in his career, and that's what most fighters want. They like to have control, especially the fighters on the level of Canelo Alvarez. They like to have a lot of control of their career, and I just don't think Canelo probably got that with Eddie. So that's why, with Oscar, and I think that's why I think the relationship probably broke down as well. So yeah, let's now see what Canelo does. I think most people expect Canelo to beat Ryder pretty soundly. Then it's down to what Canelo does after that. I'm very intrigued to see what happens with Canelo's next fight after Ryder. But leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.